Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of The Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host Jonathan, once again bringing you another review. This time it's for Marvel's InHumans. And now, before I begin that, I want to say my heart and condolences go out to everybody who was affected on this morning or last night's attack in Vegas. So I hope everybody's doing okay over there, and that sucks. I mean, people go over there to have fun and not expect this kind of tragedy over there. But yeah, so like I said, my heart and prayers go to everybody out there, and I hope you do the same thing. So let's talk about Marvel's InHumans. Now, I was first looking forward to this because I thought this was going to be a movie. Now, I wanted to see this movie because Marvel is at a point right now where they're not going to get the X-Men back. They're not going to get the X-Men back, so they decided, you know what? Let's try our hands with the InHumans. They're pretty much like the X-Men, but complete opposites in some ways. And then, of course, they decided to put it on TV. Now, the first two episodes, they put it on IMAX. Never got a chance to go check it out, so I couldn't see it. So I had to wait till it actually premiered on TV, excuse me. And, of course, a lot of negative about it. So I watched this thing twice, and I could honestly say it's okay. It's just okay. It's not the greatest show. I'm not like completely wowed about it. There are moments, yes, I really liked a lot of it. And then there are moments I'm like, really? Really? You could have done better with this? But let's start with the good stuff. Let's talk about Black Bolt. Black Bolt is a character who, basically his power, he can't speak. Because if he does, mountains will be destroyed. I mean, a whisper, you can destroy a mountain. Okay? And if he actually talks, he's gonna blow up the planet probably. Then he has a wife named Medusa, who's basically power. Well, she, besides super strength and all that stuff, she has her hair that basically has like a mind of its own. It can just wrap around you and toss you around like a rag doll if you piss her off in the wrong way. And they're basically the king and queens of the InHumans. They're the royal family. And of course, you have Black Bolt, who has a brother named Maximus, who's trying to struggle with the fact that his brother has powers and he does not. His powers are not there yet, which is very weird. He should have had his powers by now. But anyway, so the whole gist of this episode, these two episodes, is the fact that Maximus decides to basically overthrow his brother and get him out of the kingdom. Basically, having Black Bolt and his family to retreat out of the place that they called home. And their home is located in literally the Earth's moon. That's right, they live in the moon. They have their own secret world up there, away from humans, to live in peace. And, there are conflicts. People think that, Black Bolt's just hiding them out, that he's ashamed. No, he's not ashamed. He's just trying to protect his family and everybody who are InHumans, because basically they will be hunted down and savagely probably tortured or whatever, basically like what the X-Men usually fear. But when the X-Men, this is why I know that this is totally different opposites, because in the X-Men they don't try to hide who they are. They just try to tell people to understand, listen, we're mutants, yes, but all like rest of you always have is his powers. I drive a car every day, but yeah, I can lift the mountain if I wanted to. That's all it is. But Black Bolt and his InHumans, basically they hide in fear because people don't understand them, But other than that, that's basically the gist of the show. So let's talk about the stuff I don't like. There are moments in this show I'm like, really? You're gonna go there? First of all, I don't know why they had Maximus decide to just take over the kingdom like that quickly. I mean, you could just build up to it, It would have been cool to explore his world a little bit longer, but what can you do? I guess they try to do what I guess Thor should have done, if you want to put it that way. Because if you look at Thor and Loki and Maximus and Black Bolt, they're kind of similar in so many ways. Obviously, Black Bolt's king. Thor is supposed to be king. Obviously, Asgard. Loki wants to be the new king and also have the respect of his father. While you have Maximus, who just wants to be who wants to be right and be like, you know what, bro, your philosophy is not helping us. I have my own way, basically being the new king and basically doing things my way, basically ruling everybody with an iron fist, human or not, and inhuman, of course, and do whatever he wants. You know, that's what basically Loki wants. Loki wants to rule Asgard in his own way, but also have the respect and, you know, honesty of his father. But, like I said, total opposites. Then you have other Inhumans in this show who I thought were pretty cool. Not great, but they were pretty cool. There's certain, you know, obviously they have their big weapon, which is Lockjaw, who's a dog, and his power, he can teleport, and he's huge. He's a big dog. He's not like a big dog like a normal size, no, he's huge. He's like a Hulk-sized level huge dog who can teleport. I think he has mind control powers too. I'm not too sure about that. Anyway, he looked it okay. There were some moments I'm like, okay, he looks pretty cool. They put some effort into him, and then I'm like, I don't know, just by looking at him, certain angles, like, certain scenes, they didn't feel right, as the way his look, and I don't know. I don't know what they did with the CG for him. I don't know if it's pure CG, or maybe they use a motion capture on it as well. No idea. But other than that, he was okay. So, I liked it that, and also didn't like it as well because certain things. But, and then there were moments in this episode where you have Maximus, who's played by, I forgot the actress's name. She's pretty cool. She was in Smallville, if you guys remember that show, and she plays Antenna. So if you remember her name, leave a comment below. Let me know what it is, because I'm drawing a blank here. Anyway, she was fine. I just wish she was more, like, she hates her brother-in-law, basically. You know, she knows what he is, and then, you know, but yet she just decides to stay in the corner. You know, she doesn't really speak her mind when she needs to, you know. And, I mean, I know Black Bolt, he's always protective of his brother. He you know, he doesn't like hearing his brother's being naughty or whatever, you know, until he sees it for himself. And he has no choice but to stop him himself. And then you have, like I said, there's a moment in this episode where she literally fights with her hair. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Very cool. And then they stop her in 5 seconds. I'm like, she's one of the most powerful Inhumans there. She's second in command. She's the queen. And then they're going to take her out that easily? You're telling me there are people in their world that are stronger than the queen? Are you kidding me? Really? That's like saying Iron Man gets sneak attacked by Hawkeye and uses his arrows to shut down his suit. It could happen, I get it, but you know, obviously Iron Man will have something to counter that. Nope. No, Medusa just gets knocked out one blast and then that's it. Then they shaved her head. I'm like, okay. They shaving her head. You figure they would have had some kind of weapon to actually take off, because basically mostly her powers come from her hair. You figure her hair would have fought back or has a mind of its own. Nope, just shaved it all off. That's it. Yep, you're done. You're wasted. You're nothing but a pretty face now. That's it. Okay, whatever. Next, and then you have the princess, or the princess, basically Crystal, who has the power, I believe, is control. I think the elements. She can control the elements. I'm not too sure, or just ice itself. Like I said, I really don't know too much about the Inhumans, but I always wanted to know about them. But she gets captured, and then she just gets sent to her room. You're one of the most powerful Inhumans in your capture, but yet you just send her to her room with no guards, nobody watching her. You know, she can escape at any time. But then they have this room where they can't even use their powers, but they don't trap her there. They don't keep her in there, you know. I mean, you could use it, but it's not as effective, I guess, for certain people, because Black Bolt was able to use his powers there, because I guess he's that powerful. But, like I said, there are moments in here I'm like, can you just slow down and just explain what the Inhumans are to certain people who don't know who they are? But, you know, whatever. And then, the biggest negative I have, which is, this is not connected to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You figure the show that basically started the Inhuman stuff would have been connected to it. No, they're going to pretend that they don't exist. You know, the Avengers don't exist, the Guardians don't exist, probably Thor doesn't exist. Obviously, they all are in the same universe, but they're going to be in their own little bubble, if you want to call it that. I just don't know what to say about that, because honestly I think Marvel should really focus on making sure they don't have to tie up everybody together, but at least acknowledge that they're in the same world. I mean, literally, you had the government agency, who's basically NASA, discovering things up in space. And then there's a moment where they have like their little robot space thing. I think rover, whatever the heck it's called. I don't know what it's called. They find something, and then something attacks it. And one of the girls is like, "Oh, it's a hoof, like a hoof, like, you know, a horse's leg or whatever." And then like, yeah, you've been in the matter too long. Did you guys forget that there was an alien invasion sometime in Earth? Like, you see what I mean? This is what happens when you don't understand. Like, I don't understand why Marvel doesn't connect. I just don't get it. You have NASA, who's basically flying into space trying to look for stuff up in the moon. And then, but when you get signs of weird things in the moon, you pass this off as like, it's nothing. It's probably your mind playing tricks on you. Did you guys fall asleep when New York was attacked by aliens, and the Avengers had to stop that? Did they just like, you know what, we're not gonna mention that ever again, or the incident? They could have just said that. At least the Netflix shows to mention it. But whatever. Anyway, I thought it was okay. I'm gonna give it another shot, see what happens. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about it, if you've seen it, and what are you hoping to see out of the show? Like I said, I hope it gets better, because there are some things I want to see more of. Black Bolt, and that's pretty much it. Other than that, I just hope it gets better. Thank you very much, and have a good day.